Hello, I'm Anthony. Today I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the methodology I've used to write this latest piece of music. Now, it's actually currently called Convergence version 2, and there's a reason for that. We'll get into that a little bit later. But this is a hybrid of various different methodologies I've used in the past, and it's worked really well for me, so I'm going to go through it today. Basically, what we're talking about here is an extended electronic piece. It ended up turning out to be about 15 minutes long, this thing. But what I've actually written is a group of 48 bar parts. You can see all of these things down here. These are just repeated ad infinitum, but each of the parts themselves is 48 bars long. Now, some of them are actually compositionally much smaller than that. Some of them, in many cases, if they're relying on a sequence, are just a single note, and it's the instrument underneath that's responsible for the sound, the melody, if you like. Some of them are genuinely 48 bars long, as is the case with Glorious Hollow. That's one of the lead sounds. Before I dive into any more of the detail, I'm going to give you a very short excerpt of the song. What you're actually going to hear is this audio track up here. Everything else is muted. Here we go. So depending on where I jump to in this audio line, you're going to hear a different mix of all of these different synth sounds. That's basically the point. What I've done over the past week, and I'm going to try to stop saying basically, is written or come up with an idea of mixing all of these different parts together to construct a performance. And over the past week or so, I've honed that performance over the course of maybe 15 or 20 practices, where I've run this thing. I basically pressed play with a completely muted state and brought all of these different parts in to construct something that really sounds pleasant to my ears. When I've got to the stage where I felt I had something reasonably close to a complete performance, I started recording the audio output from my master bus. So these 4 mix audio tracks that you can see up above are essentially exactly that. They're the complete mix from the master bus down into a single audio track so that I can record that performance for all posterity. As it happens, I also output this thing to OBS, and I'll release a video of take 4 is the final version. That's the one I'm going to release and I'm happy with. So I'll release that performance as a separate video. Patrons and channel members at the project manager level will actually be able to download a copy of this Cubase project, and you'll be able to play with it yourselves and create your own copy if you're so minded. If I mute the audio track and we switch over to the mix console, you can see all of the instruments themselves are currently muted. So if I jump forward to the beginning of the piece, I just need to check on what state my rhythm modules are in as well. See, at the moment, we've got one machine instance and one Groove Agent instance here. When I actually start performing this thing, most of this stuff's going to be muted. In fact, only the hi-hats will remain. And the same is true of Groove Agent. All of those sounds will be muted as well. So when I press play, we're going to get complete silence. And then I'm going to bring in these instruments. As over the course of those 15 or 20 practice performances in the past week, I've got to the stage where I'm happy with the mix of each of these sounds as they're coming in. So what's the big deal then? I mean, why am I talking about this? Because if I'm just moving faders on a mix console, it's not the most exciting concept in the world. Well, it's the combination of pre-programmed automation with dynamic performance that makes this so interesting to me. Each one of those practices that I've done over the past few days has been really good fun because I've been fully immersed in the piece of music as I've been trying to construct the most interesting composite sound I can. One of the problems that I have with a fixed methodology where you write all of your volume automation in and everything is basically you can press play, sit back and just listen to the entire thing perform. I've written lots of music like that, but with this longer form stuff where it's over 10 minutes long in many cases, it's incredibly difficult to maintain your concentration for that long. Whereas if you're invested at the coalface, trying to make this thing sound as good as possible, it's constantly entertaining. The trick then becomes how much can your brain handle before there's overload. If we have a look at the automation in this project, you can see some of the tracks have quite a lot. This Moog filter, for instance, let's have a look at this baby. So let's bring the fader up and press play. So when I'm in the composition phase, I'm looking for interesting preset sounds. Found this Moog sequence that sounds really nice to me. And I might very well have edited this preset. I can't remember how close this is to the original. But you can hear, oops, jump to the cycle bit. You can hear this automation playing in the background. So if we listen to the resonance and cutoff filters go up, so it's just providing a little bit of dynamic interest. All of that's baked in while I'm constructing the parts. If you're going to use automation on parts that you intend to repeat, make sure that your loop points are well behaved. And what I mean by that is if you have a look at the beginning of any part and have a look at your automation value, 0.257, if you scroll to the end of the part and have a look at the automation node at the end, it's going to be the same. I make sure that this is the case so that when I'm writing automation, if I repeat these parts, there are no sudden jumps. Everything is smooth and continuous. I have no idea how long this piece of music is going to be. I created the capacity for me to be able to write something, 23 minutes long. In the end, it turned out to be about 15 minutes long. And over the course of these 4 takes, you can see I actually got to the stage, weirdly, that I accidentally did 3 performances almost exactly the same length. And something about this process that makes me really enthusiastic about using it again is that I love it. I really, really enjoy this process of dynamically and organically constructing music out of this toolbox of sounds that I've created. A couple of very quick examples of some of the sounds that I'm playing with. Here's an SEM sequence, and you can hear this filter sweep. So all of this automation is baked in. I've already decided how I want the sound, how I want the part to sound. What I haven't decided is where it's going to fit in the piece of music. So I have an example of one of the pad lead sounds. There are 2 pad sounds in this, the Fantasia and the Glorious Hollow. Everything in this piece is designed to be stretched out and languid. One of the challenges I had when I was getting up and running with my take, you can see how long the audio takes to get going. We're basically adding sounds in for the best part of, about 3 minutes, as I'm slowly introducing more and more sounds into the mix. And the whole challenge is to try to make it as tasteful as I possibly can. That's something that I absolutely love, and which is why I'm enthusiastic about using this process again. So let's have a listen to it right at the very beginning. So we've started with just one of the bass lines. We've got 2 bass lines over here and a tiny amount of one of the sound effect presets. They run from Intelligent up to Behind the Moon. There's my machine sounds coming in, and if we have a look at the machine, this is where it starts with just the hats. Over the course of the performance, and you'll see this if you watch the video output of me performing this piece, I keep dipping into that machine and unmuting each of the sounds, and over the course of these rehearsals that I do, I'm basically figuring out the best combination of sounds to have at any given time. Oh, there's one coming in now, that little clack. So I'm trying to be as kind of slow and evolutionary as I possibly can be. There's the pads coming in. And ironically, I found it faster to get to an end result this way, spending 15 or 20 sessions of anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes each in length, each of which is very joy-filled, by the way. That's actually a faster route to completion than trying to write a 15-minute piece of electronic music. Because if you do 4 or 5 edits, change some of your volume settings, you've really got to listen to a very big chunk of that piece of music in order to figure out whether or not you've got those balances correct. Whereas by doing it dynamically and learning, kind of getting the muscle memory of how to play the faders, you hear about bands from the 70s and 80s. This is how they composed music. all the band members would stand at the mixing console. They'd each have, their hands on different faders, and they would put the album together live in a very organic way. A lot of that stuff's been lost with all of this modern approach to it. We've got all of this recording facility and we can do pretty much anything we want. It's increasingly coming down to the point, what do you actually want to do? And I'm finding an ever-increasing desire to get back to some sort of physical connection with the music. Now, if I'm writing electronic music, I'm limited to an extent in the way that I do that, but I can construct this piece of music dynamically in the guise of a performance, and that's what's happened here. Just to go back to something at the beginning of the video that I mentioned, this is called Convergence version 2. This is a piece of music that I wrote, sometime in the last year, I think. And as I've come back to listen to it, there were aspects about it that I quite strongly disliked. The rhythm section used to be quite a live sounding acoustic kit. There were lots of components. I think there was a guitar line at the end of this piece as well. And I ended up just throwing a load of it away that I thought, I'm just really not a big fan of that. And the core that I did like were a very small number of electronic sounds, the synth-based stuff. So what I've effectively done is cloned the project, thrown all of the stuff away that I didn't like, and rather than start from a completely blank palette, I'm reusing those sounds and putting them in a new context. This is something that Frank Zappa did very famously throughout his entire career. He would lift a guitar solo from one song, put it into a brand new performance or a brand new piece of music. He never considered any part that he ever wrote as sacrosanct, and that was the only place it was allowed to live. He would chop and change this stuff very frequently. I think that's a fantastic idea. If you've got a sequence line or a synth line or a guitar part that you really love, but you don't like the song that it lives in, well, throw all the rubbish away that you don't like and build something new. That's what I've done with Convergence 2, and I prefer this piece of music much more than the original. It makes naming my pieces of music very difficult because I don't really know what to call this. It's sufficiently far away from the original. I don't really want to call it Convergence, and yet, it does have the same core DNA at the base. I haven't really decided what I'm doing with that, but it's been a very interesting project. Hope you've enjoyed this video today. Please hit like if you did. As I mentioned earlier, the performance of this piece of music will also go up as a separate video, and I'll stick links to that wherever you need to see them. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.